And now we are officially back. Media Day here at the Missouri Valley Football Conference, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Once again, I'm David Brown. Nick Hill, DJ Williams, Colin Bohannon are joining us here from Southern Illinois. Now we are officially on again for this start. So we'll start with you, Coach Hill. 10th season at Southern Illinois. You're one of only two coaches in this conference that's been with their school for 10 plus years. Does it feel like 10 plus years to you?
No, it's went by quick, you know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But, yeah, when you reflect back, 10 years has went by pretty quick. Definitely a blessing, something that I don't take for granted. Obviously, from being from the area and playing at the school, there's a ton of pride with being there. Now you see a lot of new faces. Some of them have been assistants in the league before that are now back coaching, Coach Schmidt. Going back to his alma mater, spent some time at SIU as well. So it's good to see those guys. Obviously, Coach Spack has been in the league the longest, and now me being the second longest. Got the job when I was 30, just turned 40 years old. So, yeah, looking forward to this year for sure, and excited to have these guys along with me.
Let's just do a quick synopsis of last season. 4-8 overall, 2-6 in conference play. Obviously, injuries played a big role, as the two guys to your left can attest to. When you took a step back and looked at the big picture of last season, what did you kind of take away from it?
Yeah, it's got to be something that you learn from. I think we've responded really since 2018 of not having back-to-back, losing seasons. And each time you have a season like that, you've got to use it. You can't shy away from it. You can't sit up here and make excuses about the injuries. Obviously, these guys were on those lists as well. Last year they didn't play a Missouri Valley game, either one of these guys. And so, yeah, we haven't shied away from it. No excuses. Get back and learn. Each year, especially in college football now, you've got to put together the best team that you can for this year in 2025. I always say this to the guys. I mean, it's media days. Everybody feels good. Everybody's optimistic. But we know what's coming, and that's the way that we've got to go to work every day.
I'll go to you, DJ. Obviously, as one of those people who suffered a season-ending injury after just 3 games. How tough was that for you just to kind of be on the sidelines last year?
It was real tough just going through the process again of being injured, not being out there with my guys and helping us win football games. But at the end of the day, I was around the guys, and that made me feel better day in and day out, just having Jay Curry step in and play some big-time games for us, and just that's like my little brother, so it was good just him getting the feel of it, and me being right alongside with him and teaching him everything I know so he can go out there and prepare every day. It was good to see him grow and things like that. We saw a lot of young people, a lot of young players step up and grow throughout the season, so it's pretty good to see that. But, I mean, injuries are hard, seasons are hard when stuff like that happen, but my faith got me through everything like that, so it was good to just do it again.
How is the hand? What was the rehab like, ready to go?
Yeah, rehab's been great. I was pretty much back feeling like throwing the ball and stuff like that towards the end of the season, trying to do some scout team. The ball wasn't coming out too good, trying to hurry up and get back. I was trying to hurry up and get back. But rehab's been great. Body's feeling great going into the season.
Let's turn to you now, Colin. You transferred in a couple years ago, started every game of this team's playoff run a couple years ago, and then you tear your bicep early last season. Just similar question to the DJ. How frustrating was that, especially coming off of such a great season individually and as a team?
Yeah, it was definitely very tough. It was supposed to be my last year playing, and then going through that, it was just kind of like shell-shocked. Took me a couple weeks to really just gather my thoughts and really assess the situation. And I knew that I definitely wanted to come back and play, but just sitting on the sideline, you get a different perspective for things. So, being pretty much like a second coach to Coach Mack and all the linebackers and the whole defense, it really made me sit back and look at everything from a different angle, and just made me respect the game even more, gave me some more motivation, and just trying to be there for the guys as much as I can. I can't be out there helping them, so I'm just trying to help them in any way I could. So, in a way, I'm almost thankful that this happened, just to be able to look at everything from a different perspective and just kind of make sure I'm not taking everything for granted. So yeah, I'm super excited for this year. Last year it was tough, but like what Coach Hill said, it's a lot to learn from. So I think that'll make us stronger in the long run.
Torn bicep sounds painful. How has your rehab been, and how are you in terms of getting back to health?
Yeah, so it was about 6 months total, and I was in a lock hinge brace for 8 weeks, so I couldn't fully extend my arm, so that was not fun. I I wasn't in too much pain, I would say. It was just more like discomfort. So it was just more frustrating that I've never had an injury that has taken that long for rehab. So it was just kind of like a mental game, just like taking it one day at a time and, seeing the little progress, not trying to do too much at a time and risk re-injuring myself. So that was the hardest part, is just keeping it slow, like slow progress.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad that both of you are healthy and looking forward to you guys on the field next season. I'll direct it back to Coach Hill. Obviously, you got a couple leaders on both sides of the ball next to you, but when you look at last season, having to go through so many different quarterbacks, did you ever feel like, I know you said injuries aren't an excuse, but did you ever get a sense that you never really put like your exact vision of what you wanted out there last season?
Yeah, and I think that's your job. You got to play the cards that you're dealt. So yeah, it was. You go from DJ, and obviously his skill set is probably different than the rest of the guys. I mean, when you look at him, the things that he can do running the football, he was our leading rusher. And then so he's out for the season, so you kind of transition to Hunter Simmons there for a game and a half or 2 games, or a game and a half, I guess. And he was more of a pocket passer. He'd been in the system and things, but it completely kind of changes your game plan and outlook of what we're going to do. And then when he went down, then Jay Curry comes in, true freshman, 18 years old. You really had to, you want to do some things, but you also have to have him in mind. I mean, the quarterback's touching the ball every play. And so what we wanted to do and then what he was comfortable with, we just had to kind of learn on the fly. I mean, game 1 for him was against NDSU, the national champions. And so he did a heck of a job, though, last year. I mean, for him to be able to get that experience, it wasn't preseason games or anything like that. It's game 1. You right into the fire, and for him to be able to go through that, he's going to learn still here. It's going to make him a much better player as he goes through his career. So I think that was, like DJ mentioned it, we had to play a lot of younger players that are still on our team that going into this season will pay dividends.
We'll go back to you, DJ. Coach just mentioned it. Dual threat quarterback. Obviously, you can sling it, led the team in rushing last season. I know a lot of the focus in the offseason was on the rehab, but is there anything else from a technical perspective that you were working on in this offseason to get better for this season?
Every day is about just getting 1% better for me. Everybody says, like, you got legs, you can do this type of thing, but there's a skill set that I've had my whole life, and I just try to keep building off that day in and day out. There's nothing that I don't want to get better at any day of the week. I'm trying to get better. So at the end of the day, it's about what I can do to put myself in the best position to have the best season I've ever had as a Saluki this year. So it's all been about just getting better day in and day out. Not just one thing I was really focusing on. I was focusing on my full game, staying in the playbook, watching a lot of film, seeing what I can just what I did wrong last year with the little time that I had, what teams was giving me and stuff like that, and how they played me. So it was just a lot of film sessions, me watching over, just trying to perfect things that I had going on last year.
And then with you, Colin, you kind of mentioned it. You kind of became a little bit of a student coach during your injury last season. Absorbing all that knowledge, how do you take that and apply it to this year when you're actually back out on the field?
It definitely helps with the communication standpoint with me and the defensive coaches. I feel like is strengthened. So just being able to communicate back and forth if there's any miscommunication, I think that's the biggest thing. Is because sometimes the guys get a little confused about the scheme and stuff. And so being able to speak properly with the coaches about that and get on the same page, that's the biggest thing, because now that we have Coach Prawn at DC, we're running a new scheme, so it's communication is key, and everybody getting on the same page is the biggest thing. So that's really been the focus, is just making sure everybody's on the same page.
And that was going to be my next question to Coach Hill, and Colin just mentioned it. You have a new defensive coordinator in Lee Pronchinski. How important was this spring season in terms of getting acclimated to a new scheme and obviously just getting guys back and healthy and kind of seeing a little bit of a preview of what we can expect in the fall? Yeah,
you got to take advantage of the spring for sure. And then, new DC, not new to our staff, so I think that helped Lee out a lot as far as understanding our personnel and where they fit and how we were going to go about that. But utilizing those 15 spring practices for these guys, it's just about banking reps. A player is going to get better with the amount of reps they can get. And then utilizing the summer, the 8-week, the access that we have with those guys. And then having these guys, when the coaches are gone some in the summer, both of these guys are graduates. Colin's going to get his MBA. They would be GAs for us if that's the route they wanted to go. And in years past, 4 years of playing, so these guys can coach. And to have that, in my 10 years, not every team is like that, where you feel like you could just step away. And I feel like they could run practice. And you gain a lot from that. DJ was the same thing. Both of these guys, traveled to every game, had the headsets on at every game, listened to the coach's communication. So I think any player that played at a high level would tell you, if you could afford to take a step back, have that perspective like Colin has mentioned, but also like learn the game. Now you get to go back out there, and both of these guys will be better for it. Our defense, I think training camp will be super important as well. And then as many new players as you have, of getting those, whether it's a new scheme or not, of getting those guys the reps that they need to be able to go out there when the season kicks off to execute.
This team has made the playoffs 3 of the last 5 seasons. Simply put, what is it going to take for this year's team to get back there?
Yeah, I think it's just we just have to focus on having the best camp that we can have. That's what I said about the summer. If we start thinking about and what we want the end result to be, like I said in media days, we all have the same goals in mind. Every single team here has a team that could do that. I mean, when you see 6 teams a lot of times making the playoffs, and probably 7, 8, and 9, if they were in a different conference, could probably go to the playoffs. So if you get stuck looking in the future, you can't do anything about that. We just have to be, one game at a time. What's in front of us right now, it's about gearing up for training camp and having the best camp that we can have, because knowing that the process will then lead to the results. And so for me, I sleep well at night knowing that guys like this are on our team, of knowing what it's going to take, the longevity that this conference makes you have. Like it's a grind, and you have to have depth. You're not going to play with the team that we roll out there week 1 or go to Purdue in week 2 will probably not be the starting 22 guys, week 8 when we play in the Missouri Valley. It's just how it goes. Same for all of these teams. So you got to continue to build consistent depth if you want to have success in this league.
All right, last one for each of you. I warned you guys last night at Great Shots about it. I need a fun fact about all 3 of you. We'll start with DJ.
My fun fact is me and Tommy Rittenhouse got the same birthday, same exact birthday, from Chicago as well. So that's probably my fun fact. We chopped it up last night and figured that out.
Tommy Rittenhouse, the quarterback for Illinois State. What is the birthday?
September 9th, 2002.
Okay. Have you guys ever faced? Well, it would be too early to face off on that day.
Yeah, it's too early to face off on the day of the birthdays. But nah, we haven't never did that.
Awesome. Well, we're going to speak to Tommy a little bit later during our media day coverage. Colin, a fun fact about yourself.
I'm related to a former pope.
Not the new pope, though.
No, not the new one. No, Pope John Paul II.
And what is the relation? Because this needs to be explained.
My great grandma is like from the same village as him. They're second cousins. So we have pictures of them together when he was the pope and everything too. So yeah, I learned that like 3 years ago. Like, I just found out. So
see, this is fun because obviously, as everyone knows, the new pope is from Chicago, and you guys being Carbondale, Illinois. I know they're not super close, but it's still the same state. So
yeah, no, we're definitely not related. He's a Sox fan.
Oh, you're a Cubs. You're a North
so,
Sider.
Yeah.
Where do you fall, DJ? Cubs or Sox?
Hey, I'm more of a Sox fan, South Sider, man.
So we got a South Sider and North Sider. All right, Nick. Fun fact about yourself. See, you didn't get the warning yesterday.
Yeah, no, for sure. We do this all the time, though, so that they should have some fun facts, ready to roll. I would say for me, even talking to the coaches last night, is just I love to hunt and fish, but talking to these guys, I've been trying to get a trip up here, especially South Dakota. Yeah, pheasants. I've been. It never times up right to come up here pheasant hunting, but I've gotten into predator hunting, coyote hunting. I've got a thermal scope, go out at night, try to kill a bunch of coyotes. And so hopefully, with some of these connections, I know there's some, and especially in South Dakota, you can come up here and pile them up. I've had some buddies that have come up here, so hopefully one day I can get up here and go coyote hunting.
Coyote hunting off the field, maybe on the field as well, if you ever play USD, of course.
Against USD, yeah. I got a coyote mounted in my in my office actually that I killed a couple years ago. So yeah, it'll be they got us the last couple years. So hopefully this year we can make that change.
Well, best of luck on the season, DJ, Colin, Coach Hill. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. The Salukis start their season on August 30th against Thomas More, which is a Division II school in Kentucky. And then their conference opener is October 4th at home against Indiana State. Coming up next, we are going to hear from the Racers from Murray State. Stay with us.